Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching MGS Coaching Football. I really appreciate it. Coach Sullivan here, defensive coordinator, and I hope your 2021 season was as successful as ours was. In this presentation today, I want to talk to you about in our 3-4 how we defend the boot. And in this case, it's versus 11 personnel, 3-by-1. It's going to be a zone boot. Okay, and we're going to defend it out of our base 53-4. So our base 3-4 front and our base match quarters coverage. Okay, so now over here, I'll go through the key terms to help you better understand how we do it, how we teach it, how it's incorporated into our run support system. So we account for who is supposed to contain the boot, who's supposed to cover the under, the over, the post, right? And who's supposed to cover the deep vertical to the side of the boot, right? Usually run by number one, but not always, okay? And then over here, I'll go through the keys with you in the diagram. I'm not going to diagram every potential way that they can get to the over-under post, but I'll cover it enough so you have the general idea, right? Big picture. So the first key term is it starts with the offense. What personnel, right? You got 11. So all offenses have tendencies based upon their personnel. That's the first thing. So everything we do, personnel, right? So it's going to be 11. One back, one tight end. This is what we call Texas, which makes it a 3-by-1 formation in 11. Non-subscribers, you have to push that button and go to my base fronts playlist, okay? The defensive call for us is 50 gray 4, so 50 is our base 3-4 front, right? 4-0-4. And our gray 4 is our base match quarters zone coverage, okay? The run support system here, and again, if you want to know how we come to this, it's self-adjusting. Non-subscribers, you have to push that button, but it's going to be orbit to the side of the lizard rip, and it's going to be sky on the opposite side, okay? So this is a Liz, which is the pass strength. Okay, again, non-subscribers, push the button, please. So the boot impact on our linebackers, all right? The front side, inside linebackers. So see, one of the things that you'll notice here in the formation, both of our outside linebackers, so subscribers know this, not subscribers, right? The dime and the rover are both on the same side because rover goes to the tight end, dime goes to the lizard rip. It's what we call overhang. Not a problem. That means we teach our inside linebacker on the one receiver side. If it's boot to you, it's Friday. You got it. Contain. You are the front side linebacker. That's an automatic, right? Because it's sky, but this person's coming from 12 yards. That's an easy read. He's never going to be able to get contained from 12 yards when the quarterback's at 7. There's 20 yards separation, right? Not possible. Way too slow. Plus, he's going to come down, and now he's going to be a part of picking up the under route in the flat area. Okay? So the person who's available is our front side linebacker, which makes it a Friday. So in our installs in spring, preseason, and part of weekly game plans, if we're preparing for a team that's going to run 11 Texas, right, we make sure we emphasize that. Guys, when we get Texas, okay, and it's check steal, I'll go through that enough for you to understand, right? Check steal, invert, boot X, see, 1X, boot X, it's a Friday. It's an inside linebacker's got to pull up the contain, okay? So that's major impact, and you got to teach that to your players. Backside, right, which is now all three other linebackers. They're all backside, okay? The inside linebacker is going to take the drag, the over, and I'll cover that again in a little bit, okay? The outside linebacker over number 3 is going to be responsible for the running back. I'll cover that, and he's going to be knocking back the tight end. And the outside linebacker who's orbit here over number 2 is going to be a hole defender. He's going to help us in the hole. Okay, because we have 3 linebackers on the same side. He's a bonus guy, which enables him to do that. Okay? In the secondary, they are executing the coverage call, which is check, steal, invert. It's a 3-by-1 check that's part of our match quarters system. Again, non-subscribers, you have to push the button. Okay, go to my match quarters playlist. So they're playing their regular deal. Okay, the impact is on the linebackers, as we said. So then now the question is, right, why Friday? Let me recap with you. For one, the outside linebacker is not there. He's over here, right? Part of the overhang. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3. That's our +1 philosophy, right? There's a freebie, non-subscribers. And yet over here, 1, 2, we still have +1, right? And when we screw it down, we're all set in the box as well. We'll be +1 in the box. So it's kind of a neat thing, right? It's a built-in disguise. All right, that's it for freebies, non-subscribers. Okay? So the inside linebacker, he's the only person available to pull up to contain, right? He is overlap on the run, boot on the pass. And we teach him why. Okay? The run fits. This is huge. The run fits have to match the coverage. Okay? They must match the coverage. So if this were a run, he's screwing down on the snap at sky, we're okay. But when the quarterback's 7 yards deep from 12, that's not going to work to get contained that deep in the backfield. Because the key, remember, if you've seen the introduction and other presentations in the Defending the Boot playlist, you got to pull up the quarterback as fast as possible. Stop him before he gets his head and shoulders around and actually starts coming downhill in some cases and has a run pass. You got to stop him before he gets to that point. Whether he's going to the defensive right or left, doesn't matter. Okay? And so coming from 20 yards, that 12 yards, which ends up being close to 20, that's not going to work. So that is why we designate it as a Friday, front side, inside linebacker pulls it up. And so please remember, right, on the boot, you're going to get that look, the elephant's on parade, right? So that's a real easy read for all of the linebackers as well as the secondary, okay? So the big key here as far as helping out, okay, so he's going to be up there. He's going to squeeze, so your defensive ends ends up being secondary contain, right? The big thing in helping out your over and your under defenders, right? Your safety and your backside inside linebacker is you got to teach them that all three receivers, 1, 2, and 3, any one of them can be the over and the under. Any one of them could be the post. Okay? So you teach your players check steal rules. Safety's reading 3-2. Corner's reading 2-1. Drag is reading 3-2. And then obviously if neither one of them are coming on an over route, it has to be number 1. So it's either numbers 1, 2, or 3 are either the under, the over, or the post. Okay, so let's just keep this one simple. 3's running the under route, 2's running the over route, 1's running the post. Okay? He is going to get jammed into next week. He is coming down as he's reading the boot. He's looking at levels. He sees it here. He picks that up. He's working underneath. He picks that up. He's working into the hole. So it's the quarterback has to make the perfect throw. He'd have to get it over the inside linebacker and in front of the hole dropper. Probably not likely. This is the guy they want to get. This is the home run ball, but you're going to have 2 DBs taking care of that post. It's not very likely that post is going to be open. This corner is bailing. Takes the deep vertical. Sorry, they're both in black. Takes the deep vertical. We got it covered. Okay, and it starts with getting immediate contain before that quarterback can snap his head and shoulders around, get squared up, and actually start coming downhill. What helps you as well is the over and the unders. They got a ways to go. We're not talking about a bunched formation, right? Condensed. We're talking about regular splits. Okay, and things like is the ball in the hash, is the ball, so the formations to the big field, is it in the middle of the field, is it a fib formation into boundary, do they condense it a little bit, giving it away, right? You got to look at all those things as coaches and teach it to your players. Okay, but that is how we make the adjustment in our base 3-4 front, in our base checks for 3x1, match quarters becomes check steal. That is how we defend the boot X. Okay. The other thing that'll help you is it's a little bit slower developing to help with the timing to get the over and the under across. So if you can get your linebackers to recognize it quicker, they have a much better chance of getting upfield. So as I said at the beginning, thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football. I really appreciate it. Whether you're a subscriber or not subscriber, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.